These rapid fire videos are brought to you by crazy COVID work absences. So here we go. We're going to take a look at question type 4 in the, oh, there's all the answers. Did I get the same answers today? Yeah, I think so. Okay, question type 4, solving quadratics for x. All right, these situations, we have a quadratic expression, but it's equal to x. That means there are as many as 2 and as few as 0 possibilities that x can be. And you have to find them by the given method. So let's use the given method. So first, I copy this one out carefully. 10x squared minus 34x minus 24. So I go ahead and get myself some blank paper. 0 is equal to 10x squared minus 34x minus 24. And then I check my copying. And yes, it's indeed correct. And then the first thing that I do, and I've been told I can solve this one by factoring. So factor it. Oh, someone is here. Someone is visiting me. Hi, one moment. I'm just making a video. And we're back. So let's keep going. So I have here, I want to check when situations like this, if I can common factor. It's going to make things easier. And yes, indeed, 2 is a common factor of all of these. So let's take that out just for simplicity's sake. 2 multiplied by 5x squared minus 17x minus 12. I can also divide both sides of the equation by 2. I am dividing the whole side of the equation by 2, by the way. And this will cancel. And this, 0 divided by 2 is still 0. So this is a special case where the common factor just disappears because I have it equal to 0. So I have 5x squared minus 17x minus 12. And I've been asked to solve this by factoring. But I want to point out at this point, if I use the quadratic formula, I'll still get the right answers for x. Okay, so let's solve this by factoring. I play a special x game where I take this number multiplied by that number, 5 times negative 12. I might write that down this way. I might write down negative 60. And I want to add to negative 17 and multiply to that number. And now I actually forget how to do that. I need to figure out what numbers. Oh, it's obvious. It's right there, isn't it? It's right there, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not that. Because that would be adding together to give me minus 7, not minus 17. So what will do that? Well, let's see. I need them to multiply, so their difference is minus 17. Let's say 20 and 3. 20 and 3 do it. Okay, see how I did that? Yeah. So I create these problems, so I don't necessarily have the solution right easily available. So these numbers multiply to negative 60 and add to negative 17. If you need help with that, take negative 60 and factor tree it. 2, 30, 2, 15, 3, and 5. And then play with these factors and organize them in different ways. What we found was if we take this 3 out and have 2 times 2 times 5, that gave us 20 times 3. And we found that 20 and 3 had a difference of 17. So that was what clued me into this organization. Now we use this to decompose that middle term. 0 is equal to 5x squared. Just copy down what you don't change. Minus 20x plus 3x. Notice that's negative 17x written a new way. Minus 12. This common factors and that common factors. So let's go. 0 is equal to 5x is the biggest factor in these first two terms, multiplied by x minus 4. And then here, my biggest factor is 3. So I'll have plus 3 multiplied by x minus 4. Notice the same binomial common factor appears twice. It can now be common factored out. X minus 4 multiplied by whatever's left, 5x plus 3. Okay, so this was the factorization of this, and this tells me the places that make this 0. Okay, so what will make that? What values of x will make that 0? Well, clearly, when x is 4, we have a 0. X equals 4, or maybe this one is harder to spot. We say 5x plus 3 equals 0. If this whole thing equaled 0, then this equation will be true. So let's figure out what value of x makes that work. Subtract 3 from both sides gives 5x equals negative 3, and divide both sides by 5. These cancel. There is your other answer, negative 3/5. Okay, so we have x is equal to 4, or x is equal to negative 3/5. Done. Final answers. Final answers. Okay, now the next one, it won't factor. So I told you, use quadratic formula. All right, let's try it. And give your answer as an exact value. You're going to have to simplify radicals. So let's go. X squared minus 6x minus 41. X squared minus 6x minus 41 equals 0. In these cases where a quadratic is equal to 0, I can use a special technology called the quadratic formula that has an appealing jingle. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a is the quadratic formula. Then I have noticed that students that get these questions right write their next quadratic formula big with lots of space and really clear signs. So do not cramp your quadratic formula and let your quadratic formula breathe. Watch how much space I take. X is equal to negative b. So maybe I make a little chart here. A is equal to 1. That's this number. B is equal to negative 6. C is equal to negative 41. Okay, so negative b, negative 6. That's a 6 now, not a b. Plus or minus the square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 multiplied by a multiplied by c, negative 41, all over 2 multiplied by a. And if you skip the substitution in of 1, no problem. I wouldn't put it in myself unless I was being a math teacher. Okay, so now we evaluate with Bedmas and don't make any sign errors. Negative negative 6 is 6 by another name. Okay, plus or minus the square root of 36 is negative 6 squared. Minus 4 times 1 times minus 41. 2 minuses gives me a positive. Plus, what's 4 times 41? 164 divided by 2. Okay? So now, I haven't made any mistakes. Good. X is equal to 6 over 2 plus or minus. Yes, I can split that denominator up and write it twice. No problem. It's going to help me avoid errors. Square root of 200. Keep going. X is equal to 3. That's 6 over 2. Plus or minus the square root of 200. Maybe I do some scratch work over here. 10 squared times 2 happens to be 200. I'm not going to do a factor tree. You should be able to look at that and say, 100, that's a square. It's 10 squared. And 2, I take 100 times 2. That gives me this one. So this is equal to 10 root 2. So this is 3 plus or minus 10 root 2 over 2. The 2 divides the 10 and gives you 5 root 2. Okay, so this is x is equal to 3 plus or minus 5 root 2. Those are exact values. The question asked for exact values, and there's 2 of them there. 3 plus 5 root 2, 3 minus 5 root 2. Done. Okay, so that is question type 4. Question type 4. Any questions, email me. And thank you for showing up for your learning. Bye for now, everyone.